everybody? It's your boy Bopete, man. Y'all are now watching Cooking Up with Bopete, and on today's episode, we cooking up with Eddie Caldwell. Eddie, how you feeling today?
Nephew, I'm feeling pretty good. I'm glad you have me in here. I've never tried anything like this. I'm a little nervous, but you're always nervous when you're trying something new.
Definitely. It'll be a breeze. So to get things started, I know that you were saying that you're about to start up your own podcast, A Penny for Your Thoughts. Can you kind of give us like a quick little rundown about that? What's it gonna be about? You know, if the people out there have any questions or like, you know, want to be a part, you know, where they can reach you.
I've got several things on my mind, and we'll go through each one of them. But main thing, just get this podcast started, listen to the people, see what the interests are of the people. I know a lot of people out there hurting, worried about mortgages, food, everything is so high. We're all in the same boat. We're all struggling. We got to start relying on each other. Rely on your faith in God and ask Him to guide our decisions, because these are really trying times. In the future, we'll have other people in here. I know people that you know, just touching on different subjects, but I think it's needed. I think it's time for the world to hear the little man's voice and let our elected officials know how bad we're hurting out here and not get much help.
I agree with that 100%. And to kick things off, where do you want to start? Do you want to start with the getting to what the people is going through, or do you want to start with
Let's start with a little bit introduction to myself.
Okay.
Let people know who I am. I was raised around here, born in Silicaca, lived around here all my life. Bounced around with my family, mother and 11 siblings, anywhere from Fayetteville to County Line Road, Silicaca, Mount Olive area, and we finally ended up back in Hollins, which I've always said Hollins is home. Good people took us in, nourished us. I remember when we first moved to Hollins, we thought it wasn't going to turn out really good, but a lot of people took us under our wing, taught us how to work, give us the work ethics, and now realized it wasn't just about work. It was about teaching us. It wasn't just about putting money in our pockets. It was giving us work ethics, because we had a lot of good conversation with all the people we worked with as kids in the area. You know, back in the day when we were coming up, shit wasn't nothing for everybody in the neighborhood to whip you if you done something wrong. Then you got home, you got another whipping because you disrespected the family. So everybody in the Hollins area has had a hand in raising myself and my brothers and sisters, more so the boys. Working on the farm, cutting wood. I remember the first job we got when we first moved to Hollins was one of the neighbors, Mr. George Smith. Back in the day, it used to get so cold that he hired us, 10, 15 years old, give us an axe to break ice on the pond so the cows can get water. And we finally realized that the ice was so thick, you know, throw rocks out on it, big boulders out, and see how thick the ice was, and we'd get out and play on the ice. So that was Mr. George Smith doing that, and Mr. Howard Johnson, Roy Johnson, cutting wood. An old barbecue place used to be Old Hickory, so I've been around here all my life. And that's what I want to hit on, let you know who I am. School around here, started out at Main Avenue to about 3rd grade. We moved to Hollins, went to, I think it was Stewartville, then we ended up having to go to Bibb Grave. Then we moved again to Mount Olive, and that put us back in some circumstances that put us back in the Stewartville area. And it turned out fine for a lot of people, and we'll get back on that later. But we've had a lot of things, my family and I had a lot of things that come together to make us the men and women we are today, and we thank God for that. Like I said, living here all my life. I think the first job I had after high school was Robinson Foundry. It wasn't the most pleasant job there was, but you know, you got to make a living. And come in contact with a lot of people. Started out in the cleaning room, and next thing you know, I'm with quality control. I learned a lot, enjoyed it. Like I said, it wasn't the cleanest, but it's memories. I think every job I've had, I've always worked myself into either a quality or supervisor position. After Robinson Foundry, two of my good buddies, Barry Ashworth, Walter Diefenbach, started working for a guy around here named J.D. Robinson. And anybody around here knows J.D. Robinson. Know he was a character to work with. Moving heavy equipment, moving houses, and we'll get back into that because working with that man, oh my God, every day was an adventure, man. That's no understatement. Every day was an adventure. When the downtime arose with working with J.D. Robinson, we was also working with Andy Dorsett, myself, Barry Ashworth, Walter Diefenbach, sit up service and mobile homes, and oh my God. There's some good memories, there's some bad memories there, but it's all about making that dollar, trying to survive, trying to keep the bills paid.
Yep. Definitely.
I think after mobile home service, work started getting a little slack, and that's when I started putting in applications for Russell Corporation, and I finally got hired there, started out at Cookin number 1. And that's the job I tell you right now. If I could still have that job, that was the job I'd be doing today. Maintenance at Russell Corporation. Good people, good times, good family. Oh my God, that was a good job. I could leave the plant anytime I want to. With maintenance, constantly sending me to South Carolina for school on how to fix on the machinery and everything. I really like that job. But they got rid of us, we didn't get rid of them. Several of us back in the day sitting in the break area come up to conversation. We knew when Russell was starting to go to the stock market that the people in Alabama and around the different cities, because there was Russell Corporation and Russell Corporation and Amadale Mills. My God, in pretty much every county around here. So once I got hired on with our Russell Corporation, it was a good thing. After Russell Corporation, Cookin number 1 folded. Most of the people that I worked with at Cookin number 1 went to, I can't remember, Frontier Yarn in Wetumpka. That's on Highway 9 on the left, just before you get to 231. Worked out there for a little while until I received my training for Honda. And from that point on, I stayed with Honda up in about 2018 with some medical conditions, personal and other, forced me to come out. So that's where we are now. Also a firefighter around here, been a firefighter with the Holland Fire and Rescue. Going on now, I think I joined the fire department in 2003, 2005. And again, I remember one of the firefighters that they had been sitting around the station, the manpower was a little low. And they were discussing who that they could talk to try to get us to join the fire department. I remember Preston Price come by my house and brought up a conversation that I come up into a conversation at the fire department to see if I would be interested in joining the fire department, knowing that I was an adrenaline junkie, going in caves, skydiving, rappelling. We done it all back in the day. So when I found the opportunity, when the opportunity was presented to join the fire department, I jumped on it quick. I've always wanted to do it. When we lived here in Sylacauga, Main Avenue, back in the day, the fire department firefighters rode on the tailboards, which we don't do that anymore, but that got me hooked to wanting to be a firefighter. So when Preston come to talk to me about needing some help with the fire department, that was right up my alley. Like I said, fire department, you remember the first time, it's not all about everybody going in, a hose team, going into a structure. It's all about keeping the equipment ready to go, what I always call getting ready for the dance. Preparatory.
Yep.
And I remember the first time I went in on a structure, you never forget your first time. I went in, mobile home with Jason Corden. Stepped into the house, haven't learned how to breathe. You have to clear your sinuses, breathe through your nose, keep your breathing in check. I hadn't learned all that yet. So when Jason and I went in that first structure, by the time we got to where we needed to go back where the fire was in the bathroom, which is questionable where that fire was, but by the time we got in there, my alarm went off and I'm headed back out, and Jason trying to pull me back. Hey, you okay? You okay? But I learned now, over the years how to slow your breathing down, clear your sinus before you put that mask on.
Mm.
And I thought going in caves and rappelling and skydiving and all the other things we used to do for adrenaline rush. But when I went in that first house fire, I knew I was in the right place.
Mm. That's what's up, man. That's
I
what's
mean,
up.
I love being with the fire department. I've told Silicaga, I mean,
Man. So like that first time you went in there, why did you try to leave? Like, was it because you wasn't used to the breathing?
you have probably about a 3 to 5 minute alarm, a bell alarm that goes off on your SCBA, self-contained breathing apparatus. And you know, young, trying to learn the ropes.
Mm-hmm.
As soon as that bell went off, I headed for the front door.
Yeah.
I mean, and then I know, even though when that bell goes off, you know, it's all about the man next to you.
Mm-hmm.
And I learned that over the years. I finally went through the 160, but the bond these guys, us guys, have with each other, having each other's backs, it's amazing.
Shoot, chill, you got to, man. Especially, you know what I'm saying, like, because them fires are dangerous.
Those fires are extremely dangerous.
You know.
I've always said, and sometimes the police look at us like we're crazy for running into a burning building, but you get the right training, you can look at the smoke and see what the next thing is going to happen.
Mm.
But you can't do that with the human mind. Don't get me wrong. I love our police officers. We need our police officers. But I'd rather deal with a fire than deal with the human mind.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I feel you on that and understand that, because you have some people that's that, you know, even with police officers, they have to get in all kind of situations. You know what I'm saying? And that person on the other end of you, or on the other side of you, may not be all the way there. So, you know, you just kind of gotta figure it out.
Well, first of all, as human beings, we got to learn to step outside and look at the situation from another angle. Then you learn a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, police, sure they're police, but they're human. They want to go home.
Yep. That's it.
So if you get pulled over, and don't get me wrong, there's good police officers. There's police officers out there that does their job day in and day out. I love them. But there's also bad police officers. We're going to highlight the good officers.
Mm-hmm.
Fire department, you work closely with the sheriff department. Police department, fire department, you work with pretty much all the EMS entities.
Yeah.
I love it.
So you experienced the whole change from when you first went to Hollins until now, of like the time span and how you seen people come into office, come out of office, you know, seeing what's going on with the public and with the people and everything. Like, explain that difference from, you know, when you first start noticing a change in whenever you know, in the world, as far as I would say. Like, you know, like you see, whenever you came to Hollins, it was already this one standard, everything was set. Now 2024 is totally different. Like, how would you explain that difference or that change?
It's the mindset of the people.
Mm-hmm.
The older people, they didn't have a cell phone to throw you as a child,
mm-hmm.
and let that cell phone raise you. When I come through, my brothers and sisters, we come up,
mm-hmm.
our parents talk to us, all the people that we hung with, dealt with, talked to us. Hang out with older people, get good knowledge. Mm-hmm. You're not going to get anything hanging out with somebody your same age. So
mm-hmm.
we worked with all kind of people around the Hollins area, and every person we come in contact to, we just didn't work while we were working. They talked to us, and I'll never forget some of the conversations we've had. And some of the grandkids that I worked with some of the grandfathers and grandmothers that I worked with back in the day. Now their grandkids ask me, "What's Daddy? What were some of the things you and my grandpa and my grandma y'all
mm-hmm.
talked about back in the day?" And you know, I'm getting old up in age. I probably need to sit down with them and just talk to them to a certain degree.
Mm-hmm.
Because you know, back in the day we done some crazy things, but we love life, and that's what it's all about: living life, loving the people you hang out with. And I gotta tell everybody, I've had the fortune of dealing with some good people, whether it was work, fire department, or just talking to people in general. Good people in this world. Went to school with some good people.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't change it. No.
I got you. So you definitely feel like it's the disconnect, basically. Like everybody's so in tune with like their cell phones, the entertainment, the jokes and laughs and giggles that's on the phone versus the actual real life stuff that's gonna actually mean something years on down the line.
Oh, I totally agree. Like I said a while ago, you need to be spending time with older people and get real knowledge and hear their stories, as opposed to hanging out with somebody your same age or younger than you. You're not getting any good
y'all
intel.
just messing off.
You're not getting any good intel. So you sit and talk with the older people, hear their stories, listen to their suggestions of guidance. It take you a long ways in the world, and I have a lot of conversations in my head, in the back of my head, from I've had with all the people that I've come in contact with to help me become the man I am. And I wear that badge of all the people that I've come in contact with. Great people, took care of us, Boy Scout, oh my God. Like the fire department, I joined it on pretty much a dare to see if I'd like it, still there. Boy Scouts was the same way, Mr. Howard Johnson, Jim Gallups, Roscoe Borntrigger, Mark Davenport, and I may miss a few that got the Troop 218 started in the Hollins area. And like I said, I was working with Mr. Johnson. He was one of the Scoutmasters, so it was just natural when he asked me to say, you want to join the Boy Scout? I'm like, I never heard of it, not interested, just work all the time. So I joined that on a dare and absolutely loved it. Those Scoutmasters kept us on the go. We were camping 2 and 3 times a month, summer camp. We stayed on the go. And I'm telling you right now, I appreciate all the guys that took the time to be our Scoutmasters and help us become the men we are. Because when we went on camping trips, we were more likely to get up with Troop 126 out of Silicaga. And once you got all those boys on a camping trip, and anything goes. If we found the creek, we all stripped down and went into the creek.
Yeah.
I mean, those are memories that, oh my God. And as this podcast move on, I'll try to get some of the guys that I hung out with in town, some of my former scout mates, firefighters, everything in here, and just get in touch bases. Just touch bases.
See how they've been doing.
See how they've been doing and everything. Oh my God. With Boy Scouts, we had some great times. Great times. And you know, some of the things we done back in the day, like school. I remember being in high school, we kept pocket knives and we had guns in the gun rack in the truck, axes, tools, and everything in the back of the truck. Never had no problem. But if you tried that now, you'll make world news.
Oh yeah,
you'll make world news.
Definitely, man. You can't bring no weapons to school. No,
nothing.
No guns, no none of that.
I mean, I remember.
But I see why though. I see why.
We're a different breed of people now.
Yeah, I see why. Cause back then, like you said, it wasn't no phones and stuff like that. So people are like, people are.
We were taught different.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
We knew guns. We'd get off the school bus. Mama throw each one of my brothers and I some 22 shells. We go squirrel hunting. Got through squirrel hunting, clean the squirrel, and do our homework. We knew about guns, and my parents and my friends that probably never hid guns from us, we knew how to respect guns.
Exactly.
So it's a difference in the upbringing.
Yeah.
And we were brought up, like I said, we were brought up in an area where everybody talked to us, instill their beliefs, or I shouldn't say instill their beliefs, but taught us how to help us make the right decisions.
Yep.
And that goes on now. You got to weigh every decision carefully because it all has an outcome, negative and positive.
So like one of the next topics that I wanted to talk to you about was the election. You know, the election is coming up. How are your feels on that? Can you just give us like a quick little rundown on how you feel about that?
Well, we've talked about this and several of my friends talked about it. And you know, I'm the type person, when I'm out, I like talking to people in general and try to get an idea of what's going on in their heads, how they feel about the election, how they feel about politics, how they feel about life in general. I love talking to people. And there's a lot of people out there hurting. And I say that because I love talking to people. I see it's a lot of people hurting. And later on in this podcast, we'll like to get out and start interviewing people and just let them know let us be their voice for the lower class man or the middle class man, and let the American people, let our elected officials know we're hurting.
Mm-hmm.
We need help. The American dream is out of reach.
Mm-hmm.
If you're making $15 an hour around here, you can't raise a family off $15 an hour without kind of some government assistance.
Mm-hmm.
Sylacauga really need better jobs around here, something to fall back on, good wage that you can raise a family off comfortably, such as Honda, $25, $26 an hour.
Mm-hmm.
It's needed.
Yep.
Was it NEMAC? They're laying off folks. The people really don't have anything to fall back on except for going out of town to find another job. Then you losing that citizen, you losing that family, and you losing that tax revenue. Several of us talked about there's nothing to do around here, but every time you ask somebody, you need this pothole fixed, you need a sign here. We got to do something to keep these tax dollars in this area. Because myself, there's nothing to do here. The movie theater that they put in Pell City with the bowling alley in it, we go there frequently. Love it. Love to sit up.
Yeah.
We need that here. We need the jobs. We need the academies. We need the other jobs. I really believe Sylacauga's in a good place. If you build it, the people will come. Look at the surrounding areas around Sylacauga.
Yeah.
2 major roads coming through here. It should be a boomtown.
Yep.
And we'll get more into that as the podcast take place. It's needed. This is the first. This is a start. We plan on doing this at least once or twice a week to try to get the voices out, get the people's voice out, see if we can make a change. Some people say one person can't make a change, but one person can get together and get enough people together and make a change.
That's it.
So let's see what we can do. Try to make a bright future. Let the people of the world know that we love them. We don't agree with all the things that our government does, but you don't love your family any less than what we love ours. So we need to let the people of the world know the people of America is with you. We feel your pain because we're going through the same pain. And we need to come together to get our governments in check to work for all of us. Because it's one earth. Ain't none of us going anywhere.
Yep.
I mean, Elon Musk is talking about trying to colonize Mars. We barely can get off Earth. We're not going anywhere for the next 250 years, if it takes that long. But we're not going anywhere anytime soon.
Yeah.
So we better protect this old marble we're on, because the Kepler telescope, we're looking so far out into space and we haven't found anything that resembles Earth. And if we have, we can't get there. We're barely getting off Earth, so we better take care of the rock that we have.
Yep.
Sensibly.
Yep, that's true.
Learn how to coexist with Mother Nature. I've always said, tornado come through the Midwest, tear up houses, FEMA build houses, but we need to learn how to work with the earth. If you're a floodplain, build an underground house or a dome house that a tornado can't tear up. And that's my point. Learn to exist with Mother Nature instead of coming back, building houses above ground, next storm going to tear it up again.
Yeah. Do you believe that the reason why it's like catastrophic, like weather events and stuff like that, is kind of like the earth balancing itself out from like the stuff that we do and then stuff like that?
Mother Nature gonna balance itself out.
Yeah.
I mean, you look at the History Channel, you look at the many cultures that's been here before us. Sure, we have destroyed this planet more than any other civilization, but we as humans, we know that we have got to start learning to coexist with this planet and be there for it to be here for us. So like I said, we're not going anywhere. But getting rid of coal, trying to go into wind energy. I'm old school. You don't put all your eggs in one basket.
Yep.
I mean, if you go all solar, what do you do like around here in the South? If you go all solar, you got 2 or 3 weeks just overcast, no solar panels, not going to charge. You better have something. You better have backup.
Yep. Yep, that's true. That's very true.
And I see that because I have solar lights around my house. And that's what got me the idea. If we're going all solar, and I have solar lights around my house, and 2 or 3 days of cloudiness, you're not going to get enough power to charge those lights. So the same thing, but the big grid with the solar panel, the same thing applies there. Another thing, I've had this to happen to me. Hailstorm come through, tear up my solar lights, have to replace them.
Mm-hmm.
And I seen this on the TV news channel a couple of weeks ago. China has like a 300-acre solar farm, and a freak hailstorm hit it and tore everything. I mean, you imagine trying to replace all of that?
Man, that's like buying a whole other farm.
You're right. And where do you put a solar farm that's not gonna get impacted by
weather? Yeah,
I don't see how.
You can't.
I mean, offshore wind, tidal waves and stuff like that, I can see. But, you know, we're building all these wind turbines around here, and we haven't figured out how we're going to recycle all that stuff. The world is good at making stuff, plastics, so forth, and not know how you're going to get rid of it.
Get rid of it. I
mean, look at all these electric cars, the lithium batteries. We're building all this stuff. We haven't thought about how we're going to get rid of all this stuff.
Yep. I heard that it was a saying that like everybody has some type of like microplastics in them because we don't know how to we know how to make plastic, but we don't know how to really get rid of plastic.
You know, it's weird that you said that. I was at the house the other day and got hungry, decided I was going to open up a can of chicken, make me a chicken salad sandwich. But as I got to eating, I got to, what is this? And I pulled a piece out. 3 times that I was eating that one sandwich, I found plastic.
Wow.
In the canned chicken.
3 times?
3 times.
Wow.
So how much plastic are we ingesting?
Yep. Think about it, man. Everything is plastic from your utensils you use, the packaging of the meals and everything.
The coatings on your cooking pans and stuff like that. And you wonder why everybody's so sick. America is so sick.
Yep.
I guarantee you, I can sit here, you can sit here, and talk about all the people that you know in your circle that's having medical issues, and it probably can be traced back to the food, the utensils.
Definitely.
So we got to tighten up and get the right people in office to get us a good, clean food supply. If not, we all going to be in trouble.
Yeah. I know I go to some restaurants and they have the paper, like some paper utensils, like they have the paper straws or the stuff like that, but like, yeah, it's bad, especially the foods nowadays. Like everything's changed, man. I went to American Deli, man, and everybody was complaining about like, oh, I don't like how small their wings are, how small their wings are. But then the last time I went, it was like, oh, now their wings on steroids. I was like, man, it tastes completely different. I was like, gosh, man.
And that's exactly my point. I mean, some of the meats that you buy, you realize, and you see it on the commercials, and you see it on YouTube, how they putting brine into the chicken to fill it up with juices to make it bigger. All you do is buying water.
Yeah.
Then once you get the thing home, get it prepped, get ready to cook it, you get through cooking, all the brine water's in the bottom of the pan, and you went from a chicken there to chicken there, and you got all the water and stuff out of it. So,
man,
we need a good clean food supply the best that we can. If not, we're already in trouble, but you got to start somewhere.
You know what? I would like for it to be a vegetarian spot in Sylacauga, because there's no vegetarian places in Sylacauga. That's what I think that the city needs. Because that way, at least you got the option to try it. If you wanted to eat healthy that way, or if you want to eat that way, at least you have that option. We don't even have that option.
I totally agree.
You know what I'm saying?
I know some of my friends now, we try to get together every other Friday and go out to eat. And one of my friends, he's pretty sick, so he needs to find something with soups. And I've been looking at the menus around here to try to find something with good soups. And if I'm wrong, let me know. But I haven't been able to find any good place around here with soups. So this afternoon, I'm going to get with my friends to try to figure out where we're going tomorrow for the guys' day out. So I'll touch bases with them and try to find someplace. But don't get me wrong, there's some good eateries around here. Oh, it's a lot of people in here take pride in what they're doing. But like you said,
When they help a lot more healthier options.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Shoot, yeah.
And you know, it's just like in your own home, you select you want to start eating right. When you're trying to eat right, you're constantly in the grocery store.
Mm-hmm.
Because the food that you're eating now, the shelf life is not that good now. Avocados, lettuce, tomatoes, stuff like that. People really need to start back when you have the time to try to start growing their gardens themselves. Then you know what's in your food to a certain extent.
Yeah.
Because we're buying food, we're getting food from all over the United States, all over the globe, and you really don't know what they're putting on this food. They can say it's organic, but is it?
Yeah. You right.
You never know.
You right.
And the last couple of years when I could, I love having a garden. We had a garden when I was a kid, whether it was my family or somebody we worked for, we always worked in the garden. Love the food you get. You get that self-gratification when you grow something and you're eating it yourself because you put the work in to grow it. And I've been for the last couple of years, when my health will let me, try to grow a garden just to try to get back what I've lost throughout the years, because I haven't had a garden in a long time. If you don't use it, you lose it. So get with the older people, get your seed ball, collecting seeds, because most of you you go to Walmart, most of the things you buy in there now, the watermelons are seedless, some of the pumpkin is seedless.
Man, I haven't seen a seeded watermelon in a minute.
You got to get with these older guys that's sitting under these tents out here on the side of the highway.
Yeah.
That's why you can get the watermelon, you can get the cantaloupe, you can get the okra, you can get what you need and let it dry out and keep the seeds.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
It's needed.
And then actual garden vegetables look way different than store-bought vegetables.
Yes.
They look way different. Way different.
I look at the cucumber. The first time I done my cucumbers, I forgot. Like I say, I'm trying to get the knowledge back of how to grow a garden. I had my cucumbers run across the ground, and I was getting them probably about that long. But once I talked to some of the older guys in the neighborhood that I swapped seeds out with, no, you need to hang it from some kind of screen or something that it can run up. And once I start putting my cucumbers and my beans together, they run up the same trellis, you start getting the longer cucumbers. It makes a world of difference.
Wow. So it's all about technique.
It's all about
technique and experience.
It's all about technique. Like I say, talk to the older people, pick their brain, get some knowledge. Get that knowledge. Get that knowledge.
Cause shoot, I was thinking you just put it in the ground and let it do its thing. But okay.
No, it's a trick to it. You got to make sure your soil is right, the pH right. I worked on the farm and I would go around and get land samples, get soil samples. I didn't know what it mean at 12, 13, 14, 15 years old. I was just told to do it and how to do it. But now I understand what they were doing. They were getting soil samples and sending it to Auburn to figure out what nutrients need to be put back in the soil so you can get good hay, get good gardens and stuff like that. Get your yield, like full yield out of your garden. And now I know that. And I find myself doing it too. I've done my whole yard. I've done the garden spot. I've always said, I've decided to just do a pH and soil sample on the whole yard. If time get bad enough, I'll plow out the whole yard, make a garden.
Yep.
It's all about survival.
Yep, that's it.
And people need to be looking back at this.
And with that garden, you got unlimited food supply. As long as you know how to maintain it and keep it up. Shoot, yeah.
I totally agree.
So how do you feel about Biden dropping out of the presidential election?
I'm 58 years old, and I've never seen a debacle like we're seeing right now. It's absolutely crazy. And all we can do is ride it out and see what happens. Like I told, when you buy a house, you collect your information, see if you can afford to buy this house. You do the same thing when you buy a car, and you do the same thing when you get ready to vote. You gotta do your homework on the people that you may want to vote for or the people you don't want to vote for. But what you're doing, you get a collective to see who represents you, represents your ideas. Right now, I'm just sick of not having a choice.
Yeah.
Every year we got to get the less of the two evils.
Yeah.
So that's where we are right now. People got to start educating themselves on who you vote for. And I'm not saying Democrat or Republican. I always say the best person for the job. And that's where we are right now. it's not looking good.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not looking good. But I'd like to get some people in here later on and get their views on that also before the election.
Gotcha. You
And
know,
I've always said, penny for your thought, good people will police themselves.
that's it.
I mean, there's several things I want to talk about here on this podcast. Over time, the trash on the side of the road. Come on, folks, we live here. This is your home. Good people, penny for your thought. People will police them. Good people will police themselves. But it's too much trash on the side of the road. It's your home. Don't be doing it.
Yeah.
But like I say, it's several things we like to touch on. Get more people in here, get their ideas, get their views. And it's not just my views, it's a collection of views. And that's what we want to do. Get the information out there and help people make the necessary decisions.
Yes, sir. And if there's one thing that we can change, or the people that can do something to change, you know, what we got going on now, what could that one thing be, you know? Where can we start from?
Everybody's afraid. Everybody's afraid of each other, but we're all going through the same things. So we got to get out of our comfort zone. Some people don't know how to deal with these people. Some people know how to deal with these people. But if you're out and about, get out of your comfort zone. Walk over and talk to somebody you don't know. And you know, we've had several times around here's the thing called Cruise Sylacauga. Bring your nice cars out, drive around Sylacauga. I mean, every time they've had, they've been good events. But I like to do a twist. Walk on Cruise Sylacauga, but park your cars and just walk around and talk to somebody you don't know. Get out of your comfort zone and talk to somebody you don't know.
Man.
Let everybody know, hey, we're going through the same thing. We all brothers and sisters. Regardless of the color of our skin, we all going through the same thing. And let everybody know, I got your back.
I like that.
We're all going through the same thing.
That's dope. I like that.
Penny for your thoughts. We all going through the same thing.
Yes, sir. Because I think it gives people peace.
It does.
A good peace, and like you
it
said, man.
Peace in the heart, peace in the mind. 'Cause, hey, that person going through the same thing I'm going through, and it make you more receptive.
Because it's everything that's going on in that person's personal life is just going on around them, but they're so caught up in the phones and being distracted by other stuff. You know what I'm saying? Especially stuff they see on the phone.
I totally agree.
You know, like put the phone down. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it's okay to disconnect. Shoot, pick up a book, learn some knowledge. You know what I'm saying? Like it's so many things that we can do out there to change. Because I feel first we got to change the thought process.
We got to change the thought process, and that's what I want to do. I was in Walmart in Chelsea a couple of months ago, and there's a friend of mine that I've known, oh my God, pretty much all my life. She works there, and when I walked in, my friend come up around the counter. I gave her a big old hug, and it was a lady walked up and said, "Sir, I don't know you, but I need one of those." And I gave her a big hug, and she held on to me, and she cried. She got through. It was 2 or 3 other people in line. Gave them a hug, gave them a hug, gave them a hug. The people are hurting.
Dang, man.
And we need to let them know we're all going through this.
Dang, man.
And I would love to, you know, Walmart, any public figure, place like that. Several young guys, young women wearing shirts. If you need a hug, get a hug. Penny for your thought. Just hug people. Let them know we're all going through the same thing.
Man, that's real. That's real. I think this right here will conclude it. Shoot, I appreciate everybody for tuning in. If you haven't already, make sure y'all leave a like, comment, subscribe, turn those post notifications on. And Eddie Caldwell, man, I appreciate you coming through.
I have a few bugs in my stomach, but as we do it, it's gonna get gone.
Yeah.
And I'm starting to relax. Like I said, I've never done anything like this before, but I like to start a new chapter in my life, but I like to include the thoughts of others and let everybody know we're going through the same thing.
That's it, man. That's it. I agree.
And I think you've had me on.
Oh yeah, man, no problem, man.
Penny for your thoughts.
Anytime, man.
Penny for your thoughts. Thank
Penny
you
for your
having me
thoughts.
on.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We'll catch y'all on the next one. See you.
Catch you on the next one. See you.
Yes, sir.
God bless.